Okay, let's try and unpack this. Picture this for a second. A huge soda company changing, what sweeteners it uses.
Okay.
Then you have these high-level security discussions happening on a Caribbean island.
Right.
And then, totally separate it seems, a peace agreement is signed way over in Central Africa.
Seems like completely unrelated events. Yeah.
Exactly. But what if? What if there's a theory, a pretty provocative one, that actually links them all together?
It's definitely fascinating how someone can draw those lines, suggesting maybe a deeper pattern, something almost historical playing out, even if, on the surface they look worlds apart.
Absolutely. So today we're diving into the work of Andreen Gregory. She's a journalist and author, background in philosophy, English writing. And her piece, Trump, Jamaica, and the Sugar Plantation Parallel, offers this really sharp, critical take.
Right.
Our mission here for this deep dive is really just to explore her specific hypothesis. Look at the, bold parallel she's drawing with history, colonization.
Yeah, how she interprets what might really be going on behind the scenes.
Exactly. And we need to be super clear up front. We're presenting her viewpoint for you to consider. We're not endorsing it, okay? But it definitely offers a different lens to look through.
For sure. So to really get Gregory's framework, we need to look at the specific things she points to.
Okay.
She flags Donald Trump's conversations with Coca-Cola about potentially switching back to cane sugar.
Which Coke actually did, like a week later, right?
That's right. The timing is key for her. And at the same time, President Trump mentioned his government was looking forward to working with Jamaica.
On what specifically?
Well, the stated goals were things like fighting transnational crime, boosting regional security stuff like the Caribbean Basin Security Initiative.
Okay, security focus.
Yeah, and also collaborating on the situation in Haiti. Plus, he talked about expanding trade, promoting more U.S. investment in Jamaica, like in energy and tourism.
Right. Now, this is where Gregory really shifts the perspective, isn't it? This is where it gets provocative.
She argues we might be missing the, let's say, the deeper political game here. She draws this direct line back to European colonization, the plantation era.
Wow, okay, so she's questioning the motives.
Deeply. Posing the question, what kind of deal would someone she calls a greedy, self-serving man really be after with an island nation like Jamaica?
Right. Not just the stated goals.
Not just those, no. This leads her to suggest there's this broader underlying strategy, a kind of subtle attempt, she frames it, to recolonize the African diaspora.
Okay. Recolonize the African diaspora. That's a heavy term. What does she actually mean by that in this context? It's not like literal colonies again, right?
Yeah, no, definitely not. She's not talking about planting flags and setting up governors. It's more about reasserting economic and political control, but using modern tools.
Like what?
Well, she might point to things like, say, debt structures or maybe specific trade agreements, even security pacts, things that could create a kind of dependency.
Ah, okay. So tools of influence that sort of echo historical power dynamics, resource extraction, control, but without the overt occupation part.
Exactly. It's about establishing strategic dependency, in her view.
And this ties into her concept of free sugar plantation labor, which is, again, a really striking phrase. What's the idea there? Because obviously it's not literal slavery.
Right. She's very clear on that. It's not literal slavery today. It's more of an economic metaphor, I suppose.
Okay.
She's talking about economic conditions maybe pushed through those trade deals or pressures on labor standards that could essentially give a foreign power access to a resource like sugarcane at a cost that's, well, disproportionately low.
So it's a parallel to the exploitative system, where the labor was effectively free or very cheap for the benefit of the colonizer, but translated into modern economic terms.
That's the parallel she's drawing, yes. Exploitative conditions yielding resources cheaply.
Got it. Now, what's really interesting is how she weaves in something else that seems completely separate.
Ah, yeah. The peace deal.
The peace deal, right? Between Congo and Rwanda. She notes this happened around the same time, nations that hadn't seen peace in, over 30 years?
Yeah, a major development on its own. But Gregory fits it into her theory as what she calls a tactical side note.
A side note? How so?
Her argument is that, by appearing to solve such a long-running, difficult conflict, it can serve as a kind of narrative tool.
A narrative tool for what? Like good PR?
Maybe partly that. Or maybe to distract attention from other things, or to build up a sort of persona, like a peacemaker, which then maybe makes it easier to push through other strategic moves elsewhere.
Moves related to her main thesis about the diaspora.
That's her connection. She sees it as facilitating the other parts of what she calls this larger overarching plan. She actually states very explicitly her belief that the main driver for that peace deal was a desire for a Nobel Peace Prize.
Okay, wow. So very cynical take on the peace deal's motives there, fitting it into this larger picture.
Very critical, yes. It's all part of this interconnected strategy in her analysis.
So, okay, let's try and pull these threads together then. You have Coca-Cola changing ingredients, you have the stated U.S. goals with Jamaica security, trade, investment, and then this Congo-Rwanda peace deal.
Right.
What is Andreen Gregory's ultimate conclusion? What's the core idea she wants us to take away?
Her central, and again, very provocative idea is that when you look at these events converging, it suggests something deeper is going on, a kind of potentially recolonizing strategy that she feels directly mirrors the dynamics of the plantation era.
And specifically?
Specifically, she argues that talk about security cooperation with Jamaica might actually be a veiled sort of pressure or trade-off for what she calls that free sugar plantation labor, meaning cheap resources through economic means.
Okay.
And the Congo-Rwanda peace deal, while obviously significant in Africa, serves primarily as that side note within this bigger plan that she believes is focused on the African diaspora.
So it's really a call to look past the surface justifications.
Just exactly. To question the stated intentions and dig for potential underlying motivations, especially when powerful players interact with less powerful nations.
So this deep dive really asks you, the listener, to consider how one journalist connects dots that seem, well, pretty far apart, to paint a radically different picture of what might be happening in global power plays.
It makes you think about how historical patterns, maybe uncomfortable ones, could potentially echo or reappear in today's world, just in different forms.
Yeah, and how important it is to critically examine, what's said versus what might actually be intended in these complex geopolitical situations, even when the connections seem, frankly, quite unexpected.
Absolutely. So the final thought for you is perhaps, what stands out to you when you consider these pieces? The soda, the island security, the peace deal fitting together into this larger, quite challenging narrative Gregory presents.